One of the most common concerns about using AI for writing, or really about students using AI to develop any skill or competency, goes something like this. If students use AI, they won't actually learn. They're outsourcing the skill building, the discipline, the work that learning requires. That concern makes sense, especially if we think of AI as something that produces finished text or finished products. And to be fair, that is how some students are initially approaching it. But that framing also gives us a useful entry point. A more productive way to think about AI is as a writing aid, not a writing replacement. Writing is a process. It involves generating ideas, organizing thoughts, drafting, revising, reflecting. Many students struggle not because they lack ideas, but because they don't yet know how to move through that process effectively. That's where AI can sometimes help, not by doing the work for them, but by supporting the work around the writing. For example, students might use AI to brainstorm possible angles on a topic or organize notes into an outline. It might help them to clarify what an assignment is actually asking them to do or identify places where the draft feels a little unclear or undeveloped. Each course, each assignment has a prompt, some guidelines, but underneath it is the actual skill you're trying to convey. If the skill is organizing notes into an outline, then that becomes something you might not want a student to use AI for. So keep in mind that we're talking about a nuanced issue with a kind of sliding scale here. But if used in this way, AI becomes a thinking partner, something students interact with, question, and revise against. The student still makes the decisions. The student still owns the ideas. The student is still the author. This is also where mindset matters as much as tools. If students see AI as a shortcut to a finished product, it undercuts learning. But if they see it as a support for thinking and revision, it can actually reinforce good writing habits. In many ways, this isn't really new. We already accept tools like spell check or Grammarly, tutor feedback, and writing centers because they support the writing process without replacing it. AI can fit into that same ecosystem if we frame it intentionally. So the key question isn't, should students use AI to write? It's, how can AI support students as writers without taking over the work that matters most? That framing opens the door to clearer expectations, better conversations, and more meaningful learning, especially when we pair it with thoughtful guidance from instructors.